Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today I have the combat series for you guys. It'll be combat series episode number 5. Of course, this episode is coming out on all 4 of our platforms: our Instagram account, our Facebook account, our YouTube account, and our Apple Podcast account. So let's go ahead and dive into the combat series episode 5. I'll be sharing my thoughts on Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo, officially set in stone to take place September 30th in the sport of boxing. So, the news broke Friday last week that Canelo Alvarez will be back in the ring in his first fight under the 3-fight PBC deal. He will be defending his undisputed championships at the super middleweight division at 168 pounds, where he will be defending those 4 titles against the 154-pound undisputed champion in Jermell Charlo. That fight has officially been announced for September 30th. We will see Jermell Charlo, who is the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. He will climb up not one, but 2 weight divisions, 2 weight classes to battle Canelo at an undisputed championship fight for Canelo's undisputed titles. This will be the first time in men's boxing history that we have seen 2 undisputed champions at the same time go head-to-head in a boxing ring. This is going to be spectacular. This is going to be one hell of a fight. The PBC delivers to continue to save the sport of boxing this year. The PBC and Al Hammond have done a great job, put together some great talented cards, some great big-time monumental fights. The PBC has put together Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. They've put together Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. They're putting together Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence, a fight that is a once-in-a-lifetime that we're going to see in the next few weeks. Now they are giving us Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo by the end of 2023. The PBC has definitely saved boxing, in my opinion, this year. They continue to hit home runs in terms of big-time fights, 50-50 fights. Now, we're going to get that September 30th. But my reaction to this, it completely came out of left field. I was not expecting this. Like you guys, if you guys have followed the podcast, I broke on the story when I was recording the segments for you guys that Canelo Alvarez would be fighting the older Charlo brother, Jermell Charlo. I thought that was the fight that we were going to see September 16th on Independence Day. Things have changed, and this fight is completely came out of left field. So it seems like that fight was between Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez was set in stone to be an undisputed championship fight at the super middleweight division, with Canelo putting all of his titles at 168 pounds on the line. But things took a turn for the better, in my opinion, instead of the worse, because Jermell Charlo, the younger Charlo brother, stepped in for his older brother, who is not ready to get back to the boxing ring yet. He's been fighting, like I said, Jermell Charlo has been fighting his own demons over the last 2 years outside the boxing ring, and has not been seen in the boxing ring since the early part of 2021. So, and he's not ready yet. And I wish the best for Jermell Charlo. He's one hell of a boxer. Definitely a world-class act in that boxing ring when he's on his game, when he's in shape, and when he's determined to be the best. But all my prayers and condolences go to him. I pray that he sees better days fighting the demons. I pray that he gets one day back into a boxing ring. He just wasn't ready at this particular time, especially fighting someone at the high level of Canelo Alvarez. So what happened was his brother stepped in. Jermell Charlo took the opportunity of a lifetime to fight Canelo Alvarez, and this is the fight that we're going to get now. But realistically, this is a more dangerous fight for Canelo Alvarez. It's fighting Jermell. Instead of fighting Jermell Charlo, now you're fighting Jermell Charlo. This is even more dangerous fight because I think Jermell Charlo just brings more to the table and his toolbox and his repertoire more than his older brother Jermell Charlo. So this is going to be a 50-50 fight. I don't want to hear the chances. I don't want to hear the excuses of what's going to happen in this fight. And I'm going to talk about that because how will Canelo Alvarez perform in his last 3 fights? You guys have seen you guys have seen what I've said on the podcast, that he has looked like a B-plus fighter. He has not looked like the same guy that we once loved in the sport of boxing. Looked very flat and got dominated against Dimitri Bivol. Then in the trilogy against Triple G, he had his foot on the gas pedal, let Triple G come back into that fight and nearly lost that fight. And then fighting John Ryder in your return fight, you promised a knockout victory in front of your home country of Mexico. The fight went on the distance. You got exposed, in my opinion, for your weaknesses. How are you going to respond against someone at the caliber level of a Jermell Charlo come September 30th? And then will climbing up 2 weight classes be too much to handle for Jermell Charlo? 2 weight classes is going to be something unprecedented, and it's going to be something hard to overcome and achieve for Jermell Charlo to become an undisputed champion in 2 respective weight classes. And it's going to be a class act if he can pull it off, climbing all the way up to 168 to take Canelo's straps in his attempt to take Canelo's straps. I think this is going to be a banger. I'm going to save my opinion on that fight when I do the fight prediction in the next few months, but I'm so happy that the sport of boxing is getting this, because this is a true 50-50 fight. I don't even have a winner at this particular moment, but I do feel bad for Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, if you guys don't know, he has been the Iron Man of the 154-pound division this year in the sport of boxing. He's already fought twice, and he's been the interim WBO champion at the 154-pound division, and he's fought 2 times, waiting patiently for Jermell Charlo to get off the shelf and become healthy and get back into the boxing ring, because Jermell Charlo, all the way back in January, was supposed to defend his undisputed titles against Tim Tszyu at a 154-pound fight. But Jermell Charlo had a hand injury, was been sidelined, been put on the shelf the entire year thus far, and he's been waiting very patiently. And they were even talking about doing a fight together in October, maybe even in Sydney of Australia. But it's not going to happen now. And Tim Tszyu watches his big fight, his big time moment that he was going to have with Jermell Charlo. He watches Jermell Charlo climb up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez, which is going to be a high stake fight. I feel bad for Tim Tszyu, but I do believe, win or lose, that Jermell Charlo and Tim Tszyu will fight down the line. Maybe as early as 2024, because that fight has been way overdue. And I am so excited, guys, for this Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez fight. It's a dangerous fight for Canelo Alvarez. He cannot underestimate Jermell Charlo. Meanwhile, Jermell Charlo cannot underestimate Canelo Alvarez as well. And it's going to be one hell of a fight. But that's my thoughts on Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez officially being announced for September 30th in the sport of boxing.